Welcome to the first ever episode of B&T. This is Bishop, I'm Tobias, and today we're going to be reviewing Star Wars The Last Jedi. As always, our reviews are going to be spoiler-free, and this is going to be a fresh new take on how we've originally been doing our reviews. What were your expectations going into The Last Jedi?
Well, my expectations were really high because Star Wars, since this movie was made by Rian Johnson, the man behind Brick and Looper, I was really confident that this movie was going to be great. And, well, yeah. Yep, it was.
I don't get my hopes up too high, even though it's kind of hard to do. I expect to just live on. Right. But The Last Jedi actually really shocked me. Like, definitely a step forward from The Force Awakens. Not saying The Force Awakens was bad, but there was a lot of room for improvement with that movie.
Where do you think they improved at? What'd you like about the movie?
Definitely the character development of Poe Dameron. He was just, this little side character in The Force Awakens. And they really, brought him back to be this, badass fighter pilot. Especially with, the opening sequence was, really honed in his character. Thoroughly enjoyed him throughout this movie. The movie was aesthetically pleasing.
I like the new, very bold directions that they went with this movie. And that leads into, again, Rian Johnson. You could tell his love for Star Wars was really there. Now, because of these bold new directions, some people might say he might have abandoned some Star Wars traditions. I think these directions were necessary, but I also think they were very creative. You could tell he really just had his claws deep into this movie, and it's definitely a Rian Johnson Star Wars movie. What do you think they could have improved on, or just any little thing about the movie maybe that didn't land with you?
One of the main things that didn't land was the whole Finn and Rose subplot. It was partially needed to be there, but most of it could have been left out. I think some characters could have had some more development. Some of the characters in this movie felt a little rushed.
R.I.P. Benicio del Toro. I didn't like the Finn and Rose subplot either. That entire part could have probably just been thrown out. I get what the intention was. Actually, towards the end of that subplot, you really see how it helps with the overall narrative, but you'll probably have cut that out and there would have been no effect on the movie. Otherwise, I really have no gripes. Who do you think would enjoy this movie?
If you're taking out the fact that it's Star Wars, this movie is actually very well enjoyable. It has a steady pace. It has really cool action scenes. Some funny moments for people that want a good laugh. It has some intense moments.
Do you have to see other Star Wars movies before you go and see this one?
The Force Awakens would help, but you would also need to see the original trilogy to really have a feel for these characters, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that happens in this movie wouldn't have the same effect without some, background detail. Overall, what are your final thoughts on The Last Jedi?
I really enjoyed this movie. I think it fits right in with the rest of the Star Wars saga just fine. I don't know if it's going to be the best Star Wars movie, but I think I could say it's probably my favorite Star Wars movie. How about you?
What's better in my eyes? Empire. Which one do I like more? The Last Jedi.
So what would your final score be?
I would probably throw this on a 7.6.
Oh, well then. Well, because that was going to be my final score too, was 7.6. We agreed on something?
Our algorithm is not jank. It actually works. Overall, we think you guys should definitely check this out. It's definitely a fun and entertaining thing to experience in the theater. If you've seen it, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you have any more questions, comments, or concerns, or want to talk to us about it, or let us know your opinion, we're open to anything and everything. If you like what we did here, let us know and we'll continue to do them. If not, we're still going to continue to do them.
And since we have no idea how to actually end these things, we're just going to do it like this.